Welcome to this week edition of the Africa Today News New York weekly news roundup, and here are the top headlines for the week. Despite challenges, I won't reverse my reforms. Tinubu. Senate moves to probe Buhari's 30 trillion naira ways and means spending. Despite snub, Tinubu insists on visiting Qatar as planned. Give Tinubu more time, Gowon begs angry Nigerians. ECOWAS lifts some sanctions on Niger, Mali, and Guinea. South Africa calls for end of Israel's appetite at ICJ hearing. Bayern announces Tuchel's departure at end of season. Now the news in details. The president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, on Monday vigorously defended his administration's reforms, insisting that there is no going back with regards to the policy decisions he has taken. Recall that Tinubu had, on the day he was sworn into office, declared an end to the fuel subsidy regime and later floated the naira alongside a slew of reforms. The moves have triggered a hike in the cost of living in Nigeria as the country's currency lost its value. Despite the criticisms and protests that have greeted the reforms by the Tinubu's government, the president is not backing down. There was a mild drama on Monday as the Nigerian Senate resolved to revisit the issue of the 30 trillion naira ways and means it approved for the federal government under former President Muhammadu Buhari, the details of which it said were never provided for scrutiny. It consequently resolved to set up an ad hoc committee to carry out a thorough investigation on how the 30 trillion naira was spent by the immediate past government, since details of such spending were deliberately not made available to the National Assembly. The president of Nigeria, Bola Tinubu, resolved to visit Qatar in March for bilateral discussions as scheduled, despite big speculations of a snub by authorities of the Asian nation after a letter to that effect leaked on social media. A memo between the Embassy of the State of Qatar in Abuja and the Ministry of Foreign Affairs over preparations for a sidelines meeting was leaked and misrepresented to mean that President Tinubu was snubbed by the Asian nation's government. However, the Ministry of Foreign Affairs on Sunday insisted that Tinubu's visit will be held as planned. Nigeria's former head of state, General Yakubu Gowon, has appealed to his former countrymen and women to give President Bola Tinubu more time to deliver dividends of democracy to the citizenry. Gowon also advised Tinubu not to be discouraged by the criticism of his government. And now on to African news. The Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS, has resolved to lift some sanctions on Niger Republic, Mali, and Guinea. The resolution was taken at the Extraordinary Summit on the Peace, Political and Security Situation on the ECOWAS sub-region in Abuja on Saturday. While the regional bloc said the political and targeted sanctions on the Niger Republic remain, it lifted some financial and economic sanctions on Guinea and other sanctions on Mali. South Africa has informed the International Court of Justice, ICJ, in The Hague that Israel should be held responsible for what it described as apartheid against the Palestinians, and its occupation is, in quotes, inherently and fundamentally illegal, unquote. South Africa, which has a long history of support for the Palestinians and has compared their struggle with its history under an apartheid system, has launched a separate case at the ICJ accusing Israel of genocide in its bombardment of Gaza. Now on to sports. Amid a backdrop of fierce competition in the Bundesliga title race, Bayern Munich dropped a bombshell on Wednesday, announcing their intention to bid adieu to coach Thomas Tuchel at the campaign's conclusion, leaving fans and pundits alike speculating on the ramification of the club's future. With a contract extending until 2025, the coach's unexpected departure on June 30th of this year marks a premature end to his association with the club. And that is it on today's weekly news roundup. Join us again next week for all other important news updates during the week. I remain Krista Chris, and thank you for watching.